beautiful orange blossom. So today's video is all about my PCOS story, as you guys see in the title. I actually had a poll on Instagram to see what you would like to see, and this video won by quite a bit actually. So I've mentioned my PCOS, I think, in my facial hair video that I did. I think it was in a vlog. So I want to go into detail about my PCOS, how I found out, and all this other stuff. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. If you don't know what PCOS means, it stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it is a hormone syndrome that affects the ovaries that could potentially, you could have cysts on the outer edges of the ovary, which causes a lot of issues. So and I have everything written down on paper so I don't forget anything. So some of the symptoms would be menstrual irregularity, excess hair growth, acne, obesity, infertility, depression, inappropriate male features, which I don't know what that means, loss of hair. So I have a lot of these symptoms, which we'll get into, but also I want to mention treatments that are available. You could go on birth control, which is very popular. You can go on hormones to increase fertility. You can go on hormones that will lower the testosterone. No, it's not testosterone. There's another male hormone. I can't remember what it is. If I can remember, I'll put it on the screen. That you can take that will help lower the male hormone in your body. And then you can do, obviously, laser hair removal or any other type of removal system. I shave, but we'll get into that in a minute. So I'm going to tell you what I suffer from with these symptoms. So I have the menstrual irregularity, the excess hair growth, obesity, and infertility. I don't know what inappropriate male features means. I have no clue what that means. If you do, let me know in the comments. That was one of the main symptoms that I checked out, and I didn't really know what it meant. So first and foremost, it is important that you talk to your doctor about how you want to treat or go forward to treatment with your PCOS. If you have hair growth like I do, I didn't shave today for this purpose of this video so you guys can see it. But I don't know, like I've been on birth control before and I didn't really do anything. I haven't looked into the hormone therapy yet. It's a possibility that I might. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But so the way I'm going to tell you how I found out about my PCOS, and then at the end of the video I'm going to tell you how I'm dealing with it and treating it and all that. So I have mentioned throughout my channel that I went through a pretty scary situation when I was 19 and then I was in college in a different state. And basically what had happened was and I say this in my college story, in my college video that I did, I was a very promiscuous person when I was in college. I wasn't with anybody at the time, and I just went crazy, doing things I should not have been doing, which I shouldn't have been doing it. I wasn't doing things I should have been doing, which caused me to make some really bad decisions, which actually, in hindsight, 10 years later, really affected me, which I didn't see that when I was, 19. So a church friend of mine had passed away that I knew my whole life, and I used that as an excuse to make really bad decisions that night. I'm not going to get into too many details because of YouTube guidelines, but also because it's pretty intense. Let's just say I was doing things that I wouldn't be proud of, and, well, I'm not proud of it, but that led to a very unfortunate event where, I don't know how to word it without breaching YouTube guidelines. I was in a very scary situation, but B, I don't know what to say, basically I was taken advantage of, and not in like somebody stole from me type of way, but in I hope you guys know what I'm saying, like in a way that um, never should have happened. Yes, I went down there, and yes, I did things that I shouldn't have been doing, but at the same time, like, I didn't deserve what happened to me. And looking back on it, there's so many red flags, but as a 19-year-old kid, I didn't care, and that got me into some physical trouble. I was physically taken advantage of, I think I'll put it that way. Um, and then I went through this whole process after. I did not heal well. Um, the next day I woke up and I was just bruised head to toe. I was finding out a bunch of stuff. I was told a bunch of stuff that wasn't true, and it just was not a good situation to be in. And I had to go to the hospital to be checked out, so I had an internal exam done, which, if you've had it done, you know what I'm talking about. And that was the most painful thing I have ever been through. I didn't have any family because nobody knew at the time. I didn't say anything to anybody. So nobody knew what I was going through, family wise, or they would have been there. But I didn't tell anybody at the time. So I had that done, and then I did file. What is it called? I filed charges, and the case was dropped later for not enough evidence. So kind of pointless, but at least I did report it. I'm glad that I did, because I wasn't the only one this happened to. But that's a different story, for a different video. So anyways, after that, I was advised to have follow-up appointments. So I had 3 follow-up appointments. The first one was, I think it was about a week and a half after I had the internal exam done, and the internal and external exam that was done was the first exam. So the first follow-up exam I had a bunch of blood work done, and I had another physical exam, another internal physical, you know what I mean, like an internal exam, just to make sure that there was no tearing or anything like that, and make sure I was physically okay. And then I had to come back for another follow-up appointment for some more blood work. And it is so embarrassing to have to go into a room and spill out your private life, to a complete stranger, just so that they know, if the tests come back positive or something, like how they're gonna go about, making that decision, or whatever happens. So that was pretty traumatic for me. And then the last follow-up appointment actually technically I had 4, but the last one, I had moved to San Francisco in August of that year that this happened. And obviously I was with my husband, so I was trying to be more responsible in taking care of my body. So I set up an appointment with a woman's clinic, excuse me, and I explained the situation of what I had been through, and I got all my records sent here. And so they did another pap smear, which is very important for not just for my case, but for any woman or any young lady who's going to have their first pap smear. The camera keeps shutting off. So anyways, so I had that done. Everything looked good. That I had no cysts on my ovaries. I was okay. But that's when I found out I had PCOS, because I have facial hair, and then obviously I'm overweight. I mean, I'm not obese, but I'm overweight. And so after the examination or the pap smear was done, the doctor came in and said, "You're okay internally. We see no signs of cysts or anything like that. There was actually no damage done to your reproductive system," which was amazing for me. But he said, "You do have PCOS," and he explained what that meant and what my options were and stuff like that. But at the age of 21, I didn't understand hormone therapy. I didn't understand, like, infertility. Like, I know what that stuff is, but it was hard for me to grasp what that meant in, like, a whole, because I was so young. So I said, "Okay, so what am I going to do?" He goes, "The primary thing about PCOS is your weight. That's what's going to affect you the most. You need to get your weight down." and then you can proceed with other types of treatment. I said, okay. So I didn't do anything for a long time. When I moved to Kansas, I had another pap smear done because I'm just trying to be responsible. You know, I think you're supposed to get it every 5 years, but when I got my first one, they said every 3. But when I got my final pap smear done, um, they looked at my ovaries and they're fine. There's no damage to any of my reproductive, as far as with the PCOS or what I had gone through when I was 19. There was nothing. But because of my weight and some other situations, that's what's causing the PCOS to cause my infertility. Now, it's not impossible to have kids when you have PCOS. Many women have kids who have PCOS. It's just harder for me to conceive, and I'm sure I'm not the only woman that has PCOS that finds this very frustrating. So you have IVF, you have IUI, you have surrogate, you can do artificial insemination. There's a lot that you can do. You can adopt at the end of the day if that's your only other option. But for me, I haven't fully thought about how I want to go with things. My husband and I have plans of what we want to do. But as far as infertility, that's a big one for me. That's a little tender. It's a tender subject. So with the facial hair, I get asked this a lot because I have stuff here in my videos, and it's because of the PCOS. I have to shave my face every single day. I have very coarse black thick hair on my arms, up here, on my face, my legs, so I have to shave it every single day. It's my life, it's my routine, it's just the way it is. I don't want to do any laser or anything like that right now. It doesn't mean I'm not going to. It just means as of right now, it's not on my bucket list or my list of things to do. I just shave it every day, and I moisturize with very thick moisturizers. And then when I can, I don't shave to give my skin a break from all of that. So that's why I didn't shave today. Plus, I want you guys to see what I have to deal with on a daily basis. This is not easy to deal with. Especially with kids. They don't understand what PCOS is. They don't understand that why I have this, and it's hard to explain to them. But I get asked I don't get asked a lot, but I do get asked from like makeup artists if I go to MAC or if I go to Sephora to have, you know, a foundation color matched or a concealer or whatever. They ask me about it because you can feel it when you put product on, and I say, well, I suffer with PCOS. The other biggest thing for me was to educate myself. Just because you have PCOS doesn't mean that you're less of a woman. It doesn't mean that there's something like seriously wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you're not a woman. You know what I mean? Like it's not a death sentence for you. You just have to go to your doctor and talk about your possibilities of treatment and like make sure that everything's okay and get your pap smears done and be vocal about your treatments and to your doctor and have that conversation. I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a doctor, but I know because I was diagnosed when I was 19 and I'm 29 now. So I've dealt with this for 10 years. I've dealt with this for 10 years. It's just something that I have to deal with. So I'm glad that I know what I have, and I'm glad that I have options, because for a while I was like, no, I'm not suffering with that. But that explains the hair, that explains the weight. It's hard for me to lose weight because of PCOS, but I have to lose weight to control the PCOS, so it's a double-edged sword. So the things that I'm doing to deal with my PCOS is that I have a gym membership. I exercise every day, but very light exercise. Like I'll do weights one day and I'll do cardio another day, just because also my diet, I'm trying to watch what I eat and how much I eat. I'm trying intermittent fasting right now, so we'll see how that goes. The other thing I did was found out what my body type is. Endomorph is what I am, and I've mentioned this before on my channel. If you don't know what it is, you can Google it. I think there's 3 body types, and I fit into the endomorph because it's hard for me to lose weight. Plus, I have PCOS. It's a vicious cycle. The other thing is I'm vocal about it. If I get asked about, I never leave the house without a shaven face, but I will do it on YouTube. Um, like if I want to vlog and stuff, because I said that in my video when I mentioned it. I'm not gonna want to shave every day. It's not healthy for your skin, especially in this area, because it's delicate. So if I want to vlog with hair on my face, I'm gonna do it. I mean, I don't go outside like that just because it's so much harder to explain to 100 people outside versus I've already explained this to you on YouTube, so you already know. You know what I mean? But and I have a conversation with my doctor, and I get my woman checkups when I'm supposed to. I keep a tight grip on my weight, like I'm trying to be proactive and um I don't know how, I can't reverse it, but maintain it, if that makes sense. Um so with that being said, the one thing that I do want to say is PCOS can also be overdiagnosed to a lot of women who are overweight or is obese. So if you're in that category and you don't feel like you have PCOS, do get a second opinion, because that's what I did. I was also referred to a fertility specialist when I was in Kansas, and she told me the same exact thing my doctor told me. Because of the PCOS, that is what's causing my infertility. I have a hostile environment because of my weight. Because of the PCOS, that's what's causing it. It's not that I can't get pregnant, it's just my chances are very hard. It's very hard for me. So until I get my weight down, there's no reason to even think about having kids, because I can't until the weight is down. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but I'm working on it. So the other reason I want to make this video is because I want every woman to know who has PCOS that it is okay. At least you know what you have, and then you can go to your doctor and you guys can make a plan of what you need to do to help control it or help maintain and not further damage anything. So diagnosis was huge for me to know what I had. But like I said, make sure you're talking to your doctor, or if you're wanting to have children and you can't, go to a fertility specialist and see what they say. I mean, it doesn't hurt to know. Get your pap smears done, because that's important just as a woman in general. But yeah, that's basically it. The other thing I do, faith is a big part of my life, as you guys know, so I pray a lot about myself, and I know the women who suffer with PCOS. I pray for them too, because this is not it's not easy to deal with, especially when you're shaving your face every day. Some women have it. Every woman will be dealing with their PCOS differently. It affects everybody differently. But I know women who have facial hair, or maybe they're overweight or they're underweight. You never know. I mean, it affects everybody differently. So you're not by yourself. And I want to make this video also to bring awareness and to let that one woman know that thinks that she's by herself, that you're not by yourself. Because I deal with it on a daily basis, and I have not been able to have children, and I've been trying for 10 years. So it's good to know what you have so you can work on it with your doctor, and just, if you need a nutritionist, or, whatever you need, it's worth it to make sure that you're as healthy as you can. It is not a death sentence, and I have to stress that, because I've heard women say that, and it's not. It is not impossible for women to have children with PCOS. It just lowers your chances, is what I was told. So, the one other thing that I do want to mention is that when I was at this last doctor's appointment last year, my doctor did say when I turned 30, the possibilities lower by 50%. I don't know if that's fully true, but I'm 29, so we will see. And I'll just let the Lord handle it, and when He sees fit, it will happen. My husband and I have had this conversation. With your significant others, you need to have the conversation as well, so you guys are prepared with whatever you choose to do. I did that with my husband because it's important for us to have a plan. So we've already talked about everything we're going to do. I'm not going to really go into detail right now. But I do suffer with menstrual irregularity, and I do suffer with facial hair and infertility and all of that. But I'm learning to pick my battles. So I hope this was a helpful video, and I hope it brought some light into my life. This is a huge part of my life, and I deal with it on a daily basis. So maybe this will help you and learn a little more about me. And yeah, hope this was helpful. Like I said, I will try to leave some links to some articles if you're interested in reading some stuff about PCOS. If you think you might have PCOS, talk to your doctor. If you don't feel like it, but you've been diagnosed with PCOS, always get a second opinion if you can, just to confirm or whatever makes you feel better to know, yes, I have it, or no, I don't have it. So yeah, this was just a very light brush over my story, but yeah, so that is it for today. If you would like to be and you're not, subscribe, click the notification bell so you guys are notified every time I upload a new video. And if you would like to, you can follow me on all my social media. Everything's always linked in the description. Like I said, I will link some articles about PCOS in the description as well. So if you're interested, you can go click on those links and it will take you to some articles about PCOS. And I will catch you in my next video. Bye, guys.